Hey, Advanced Foods 2, you ready to talk some pasta? Let me tell you, what are we having for dinner at the Delaney household tonight? We're having the Olive Garden chicken Alfredo recipe. That's what I'm going to demo for you. That's what's for dinner at the Delaney household tonight. But first I want to talk to you guys about pasta like I did the rice recipe last week. I talked a little bit about rice and showed you some different things. I bet if I were to ask you guys right now, how many of you have some type of pasta in your pantry at home right now? I bet everybody would raise their hand. It's a staple food. I bet ramen noodles, yes, it's a pasta. Okay? I bet some of you have spaghetti. I bet some of you have elbow macaroni. Those are the most common, but I bet everybody has some type of pasta in their pantry. And there's so many different things you can do with pasta. All kinds of things. So I want to show you some of the different pasta shakes that we have here. I went to school, raided the pantry again. Let's see what I brought home. First off, let's start with angel hair. This is angel hair. It's very, very thin. Looks like spaghetti, but very thin. You don't use this for a meat sauce, okay? Angel hair being so thin likes the thinner, the light sauces, even a butter sauce, a marinara with no meat in it, a really light tomato sauce type stuff. Fettuccine, which of course is what we're using in our recipe. Our recipe calls for 12 ounces of fettuccine. That's what's here. There's 16 ounces in a box. Fettuccine is long and flat. Okay, it's wide. It is good to hold a heavy sauce. An Alfredo sauce is a heavy sauce. We're adding chicken to it. It's making it even heavier. But that's what fettuccine is. Now, if you have a recipe that calls for linguine, linguine is like fettuccine, but not as wide. It's long and flat, but not near as wide as fettuccine. So that's what we need for our recipe. Elbow macaroni. Like I said, I bet everybody's got some in their pantry. Mac and cheese. Another common one used in mac and cheese is shells. Okay, shells can actually come in different sizes. This is small shells. Okay, these are small shells. They can come in medium size. They can come in large shells. Large shells you would actually stuff with cheese and other things, and you can bake it that way. But that's a small shells. We've got penny rigate, okay, which is basically grooves. There's grooves on top of it. And then it's cut at a diagonal on the ends, as you can see. Good to be baked. It holds all kinds of sauces and, meat sauce, all that fun stuff. I have egg noodles, the wide egg noodles. But I make chicken and noodles. I use this with chicken and noodles an awful lot. I use wide egg noodles. Okay. Chicken pot pie, you can put it in. Just really, tuna noodle casserole uses the wide egg noodles. I make turkey and noodles after Thanksgiving. I use wide egg noodles. You've got rotini, which is groove spirals. Those are spirals. As you can see, they hold a lot of stuff. My allergies are kicking in. Excuse me. This is ditalini. These are small little tubes. If I show you. That's a ditalini. Little tubes, little tiny. You can see that they're little tiny tubes. These go good in soups. Okay? That's what this is for. As well as this little stuff. This is called, you guys really want me to pronounce this, acini de pepe. Okay? Little tiny, looks a lot like couscous. Okay? This is pasta though. What do you put this in? You put it in soups. That's the same thing with this ditalini. You can use that in soups also. Because you don't want a really big pasta in soup. I got rigatoni. Rigatoni. Bigger than the penny pasta. Those are, again, they're tubes. It's a tube. It's got ridges on it, so it can hold a big chunky sauce. So that's rigatoni. Then I have manicotti. Okay, stuffed manicotti. If you guys can see on the box, they're large tubes that you stuff with cheese. And that's what these are. These are tubes. See how big those are? What's the difference between manicotti and cannelloni? Basically the way they're shaped. Manicotti, same thing with between penny pasta and some others. Mostaccioli, they're penny pasta is cut at an angle. Manicotti's cut at an angle. It's got grooves in it. Cannelloni's not. But you cook these, and then you carefully stuff cheese in them. So I love some stuffed manicotti. In fact, that's one of the recipes we had at school that people could choose from. So those are some pastas that we want to look at, that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, for the recipe, let's look at the recipe. We need 12 ounces of fettuccine. So I have my water boiling. I've got a pot of water already on the stove. You guys know how to boil water, how to cook pasta. Bring the water up to a boil. I filled this a little over half full. I can tell you right now it's boiling. Recipes will tell you to add salt. Don't add salt to it till after it boils. Okay? And I'm going to add, I've got some kosher salt here. This is the stuff, this will help give the pasta some flavor. I'm going to put a little bit of kosher salt in there. But if you put the salt in first, it's going to take the water longer to boil. Then in goes my fettuccine. You do not break it. You guys remember we made the fettuccine, shrimp fettuccine in Advanced Foods 1. You don't break it. Looking for my pasta fork. All right, stir that. I'm going to get this cooking first. Let this get going. Keep stirring it till it all disappears and that fettuccine goes down into that wonderful bath. All right, I've got that going. So let that cook. The recipe also calls for, and I am going to put a couple of gloves on because I'm dealing with raw chicken. The recipe also calls for 3 chicken breasts, which I'm going to get going here in a minute. But before I do that, I want to talk about some garlic. We're going to deal with some garlic. It calls for 3 cloves of chopped up garlic, finely chopped garlic. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. Let me get my camera angled down so you can see me. The joys of technology. You either want to work or you don't want to work. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be able to see. So this is a bulb of garlic. In the bulb of garlic, come on, stay up a little bit. There we go. In this bulb of garlic, I peel away some of this paper stuff, pull out the cloves. Got some diddlini on there. So it calls for 3 cloves of garlic. I don't know why I've got butter on there. So here's my 3 cloves of garlic. Okay? Well, I'm going to use these 3 cloves of garlic. I'm going to mince them and chop them up finely. So the easiest way to peel garlic, who remembers this? I think I've talked to you guys about this before and showed you guys. You take your knife, your chef's knife, put it on a cutting board, smash it. See, I smashed it. Then peel this away. Get the papery stuff off of there. And garlic is very sticky. Okay? Very, very sticky. So I get all that papery stuff off of there. All that papery stuff off of there. There we go. Then see that little woody stem part? I'm cutting that away. And then what I would do is basically do a mince. Run your knife through it several times. Do that swooping motion. Don't have that finger up on that knife. Reestablish my little pile. And mince. Keep going till it's small, small, small. I'm going to show you another way to do it, which is a little bit easier if you have the right equipment at home. Going back and forth. I don't want to taste any chunks of garlic in my Alfredo sauce. So that's why it's finely, finely chopped up. I want it little, little, little. Okay, so I think I've got one with one little piece of peel on there. Go away. There, it's gone. I've had people make this recipe before, and I've bitten into it, and I've bitten into a chunk of garlic because they don't chop the garlic up little. Okay, so there's one clove of garlic. Now I'm going to show you another thing that you can use. First off, I got to give my fettuccine a quick stir. All right, stirred my fettuccine. Okay, so if anybody has one of these things, see? This is called a garlic press. Love these. Mine has a little thing on there you can clean it out from. That helps to clean it out. That's what this little thing's for, to help clean that out at the end. So, technically I can leave the skins on, but I never do. Again, smash it. Peel it. Oh, that peel came off a lot nicer. Get rid of that. And again, I don't like the woody stem. I cut it away. Then this is going to go in here. And watch. You squeeze. See that coming out? That was a real small piece of garlic. So look, I take my knife, cut that off. That wasn't very much garlic. I'm going to reestablish some of that in there. Squeeze some more of that out. I may do another thing of garlic, but that's really fine garlic. So that's how I'm going to do this next one too. So again, smash it, peel it, get rid of that peel. I'm going to do a little bit more garlic because that clove of garlic was not very much, probably because I had some end peel. Cut off this little woody part. That goes away. Put all of this in my garlic press. Squeeze it. Look at that. Comes right out. Cut that. See, I even have some more garlic that went up around that thing. Kind of stir this up a little bit more. Get as much of that out of there as I can. And like I said, I'm going to do one more piece of garlic really quick. There's a big old chunk of garlic that I do not want in my sauce. Okay. Smash this little one. Cut that off. And again, put that in my garlic press. Squeeze it till it comes out. Cut it off. That should be plenty of garlic for this Alfredo sauce. Yeah. Garlic is really good for you. Has those good healthy qualities. Okay. My garlic's ready to go. And it is sticky. All right. Let's turn our attention over to what's cooking on the stove. So you can see I've got my fettuccine. It's cooking. Give that a good stir. I'm going to cook it till it's al dente, meaning firm to the tooth. The best way to test if pasta's done, do not tell me to throw it up against the cabinet. No. Taste it. If it's crunchy, it's not done. If it's mushy, it's overdone. So I've got my cast iron skillet. I need to add a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. I'm going to get this thing heating up. Medium-high heat. I'm going to cook my chicken in here. So I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. The recipe calls for 2 chicken breasts. My chicken breasts were small. They're 4-ounce chicken breasts, so I'm going to cook 3 of them. But I need to get this to melt first. So 2 tablespoons of butter. Stir my pasta. Also, when we talk about cooking pasta, pasta's going to go from a pale yellow to a opaque white color. It's going to absorb the liquid. With rice, we wanted the rice to absorb all the liquid. With the pasta, we don't want that to happen. You don't ever want to boil your pot dry with pasta. Always make sure you have enough. And do you know what? And there's some recipes that will tell you to save that water because that pasta water is going to turn a murky color. What do you think is in that pasta water? It is starch. Okay, it is starch. So this is what I'm going to cook my chicken in. When I get this melted, I'm going to saute my chicken. Got my chicken in a bag. I've got a teaspoon of salt and pepper. I measured it out correctly. I'm actually going to combine it. So I stir my salt and pepper up. And I'm going to season my chicken with that salt and pepper. All right. In's going to go my chicken. So like I said, I'm doing 3 chicken breasts because these are small 4-ounce chickens. I'm going to actually, may not use all that salt and pepper. I'll put the rest of it on when I flip it over here in a minute. Ooh, watch yourself, Kim. Check my pasta. Stir it. So it says we're going to cook the chicken breast until golden on first side. Then we're going to flip it over. Cover the pan. I'm going to put a lid on it. Reduce it down to medium-low heat for about 5 to 7 minutes. So in a second, I'm going to flip these over. Looky there. I can add a little bit more salt and pepper. Like I said, I don't like to cook with a lot of salt and pepper, so I'm not even going to use all of that. I probably used half of it. Let me get that colored on the other side. Then I'm going to put a lid on this and turn it down. While I'm stirring my fettuccine. Okay. The recipe said to use a cast iron grill pan. I don't have a cast iron grill pan. I do have a grill pan that I could put on this middle burner, but it does spit and spatter quite a bit. And since I was cooking the pasta, I really didn't have room for it, so I'm just using my nice cast iron skillet. I am turning this down to medium low. I'm going to put a lid on it. Which I don't have a good lid that fits this cast iron skillet, but that will work. So I'm going to let this cook about 5 to 7 minutes and then we'll check to see if it's done. I will see you in 5 to 7 minutes.